The biggest thing, this has happened probably a dozen times, but the biggest thing is people, when it gets to closing time, suddenly deciding that they want to change some term of what we had agreed on. They want more money or they want a little bit more time. Or the most common one I get is homeowners who have sold the property and either didn't think about or didn't realize the fact that they were also going to have to move from said property. And so in all those situations, the biggest thing I've learned is don't be greedy. Don't preserving the deal is more important than getting the exact terms that I want on them. Let's say I pay 900 bucks on their taxes or something like that is well worth it to keep the deal together and not get ego involved.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm joined by someone that I've been looking forward to chatting with, Logan Veer. He's been making serious moves in the real estate space. Logan, it's so glad to have you on the show today.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching real estate. So let's jump on in. For our listeners who may not be familiar with you and your world, tell us more. How did you get started? And tell us about that journey.
Sure. So I grew up flipping real estate with my dad when I was a kid. I did my first solo flip when I was 16. I've been doing it on and off ever since then, but about 5 years or so ago, I got into wholesaling real estate, and that really exploded. At the time when I got into it, the market was incredibly hot and heating up still. That would have been mid 2020, so COVID was making a lot of impact on how people did real estate. And then by the time I knew what I was doing with wholesaling in 2021 and 2022, the market was just insanely hot. And so we did a ton of business those years. I think we did close to 120 to 150 deals both of those years. We profited very well. Ever since then, we've been slowing down a little bit, not in volume necessarily, but in aggressively doing flips. Flips have become less important for us as much as the wholesaling and the long-term holds go. And yeah, there's a lot of details that happen in that amount of time, but just the kind of figuring out how to do the analysis and the big side of everything, the macro scale of real estate was a big adjustment for me going from flipping a house a year or so with my dad.
Yeah, wow. And at the volume that you've had now in recent time, that's not easy. What's been the key to keeping that machine running smoothly?
Consistent marketing is a huge part of it. I think a lot of people struggle with doing marketing because it's expensive. But the more you do and the more consistent you do it, the less likely chance there is of you having a dead spot where you don't have any money coming in. It sucks sometimes that you have to spend money when you don't see any money coming in from it right away, but spending money on marketing is one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that marketing, what kind of strategies have been effective? Or, is there something that you consistently do, or is it about having a variety of things going at once?
Variety is good. We like to always, whenever we come up with a new method of marketing, we like to test it out and do it consistently for 3 to 6 months to see if it's going to work long term.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Most of the time, though, the tried and true methods of cold calling and doing direct mail have been good for us from the beginning. They're still good for us now. I've not encountered anything that works as well or as consistently as those two.
Yeah, um the other aspect of it is to do these deals, you got to find all these properties. So what strategies are you using to find those properties?
So two different strategies. Primarily, the bulk of it is going to be done by just driving. I've got a couple employees whose entire job is just to drive around the city. We're almost exclusively in the Kansas City metro, and their whole goal is just to go around, look for houses that look like they're in need of repair, specifically in areas where we know our buyers are looking. It doesn't really do us much good to find areas where every house on the block is terrible, and because of that, nobody wants to buy there either. And so we're doing that, and then we're also just doing targeted lists. We're trying to target pre-foreclosure, probate type deals, divorce deals, anything where our service, because really what we are is a service provider. We're not an investor as much as a service provider. And the service that we offer is best for somebody who doesn't want or can't get the most out of their house. They're looking for something quick, easy, Kmart easy button type thing. And so we're constantly looking for people that would fit that mold.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're looking, are you looking for something that's to flip, buy, and hold, or is there is there flexibility when you're providing that service?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it depends on each individual deal. Some deals are just not going to be good for a buy and hold. Some deals are just not going to be good for a fix and flip. There's a few creative strategies out there that kind of bridge the gap between those, depending on what the eventual buyer is going to be. We do some of those strategies ourselves in the house, but most of the time when we're looking at these deals, we're keeping our eyes open to see what strategy is going to get the seller the most money for their house, because there's some that would make it okay rental, but a great flip. And in order to do it as a rental, we'd have to be 10% lower on price. And so we're not trying to pigeonhole ourselves by doing that. It's going to be best, since we've got a bulk amount of buyers that do all the strategies, to find the strategy that's going to get the most money for the seller.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, Logan, going back to all the deals that you've done since you've had quite the volume, I'm sure you've had a moment in those deals where, things got real. Maybe it went sideways or, you had to make a quick change. Can you share one of those moments and what you learned from it?
You
Yeah, absolutely. Now, with that, with experiencing that, have you changed anything about your process going forward to kind of prepare for that stuff?
Sometimes, yeah. The biggest thing is reiterating constantly to the non-professionals in the sphere, which that could be a buyer or a seller. Sometimes we have sellers who are incredibly professional, and sometimes we have buyers who this is their first investment deal ever. And so it can be either one, but more often it's you have a professional on the buyer side and you have an amateur on the seller side. And whoever the amateur is, making sure they really understand the process well, making sure I explained it fully to them multiple times in different words. I'm a teacher at heart, and so I have the idea in my mind of everybody has a different learning style, and I need to kind of change my approach to each person based on what their learning style is. And so if I know that this person only responds to like they're a visual learner or they learn things like practically with their hands, then how I show them how the deal is going to go forward is different. I can't just verbally explain stuff to someone like that.
Yeah. with what you were talking about there, someone who, isn't familiar with the real estate world, that brings me to ask if you were to, start all over.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
In real estate from the beginning with the experience that you have now, what would you do differently?
Man, I would have taken more advantage of some of the crazy appreciation we were having in 21 and 22. I should have been doing some of my own personal investing at the time. Those deals would have already paid for themselves tenfold by now, even though it's only been 3 to 4 years later. But, I wasn't really at that point. I wasn't really ready to do that, but I would have stretched myself a little bit more back then and done more investing when the market was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the market's changed a lot. So what would you do today in today's market starting off?
Oh man, I would really be paying attention to infrastructure in various different places that I'm looking to do buy and hold and see like where are the big nationwide companies, where are they putting their money? Especially with commercial stuff. I've noticed that where commercial is starting to get facelifts, your stores, your grocery stores, your gas stations, anything like that, where those are starting to get updated and facelifts, that's where their appreciation is happening pretty rapidly, and I would be targeting that, looking to do my own personal investing in areas like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And Logan, on the podcast here, we really value networking, building
Mhm.
relationships. For your real estate career, what kind of connections or networking groups have made all the difference for you?
Oh, I mean, the there's always big groups and then small groups, and so we've got a ton of, at least in KC, we've got a ton of really good local like groups and stuff like that that are all investors. That's awesome. But it's huge, and so the barrier to entry is very small, and the idea is anybody can kind of be involved here, and we'll weed out the bad ones as they come. And there's smaller groups, which is only, in my experience, done by interacting with people who are actually doing business. And so I run into buyers and other wholesalers all the time when I'm out in the field looking at houses and going to appointments and stuff. And that's where a lot of the best networking happens, is just sitting down with somebody who, they look just like me, they sound just like me, they talk just like me, and then I find out that they own 900 units. Those are the types of connections that you like. Those people are not going to respond to a Facebook message or a text, but now that I've actually met them, they knew who I am, I know who they are, and we can do some business.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Let me ask you this, Logan. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next in the real estate world?
Scaling is absolutely what I'm looking for. I'm looking to do more business, which means I need more people. I'm like I said earlier, I'm kind of a teacher at heart, and so I'd love to bring in some people who want to learn how to do this, and I can get some advantage out of it because I can get some labor out of it, but they can also get the advantage of my experience, the amount of deals I've done, and try to bring on some people who can be around for 6 months to a year, something like that, learn the business, help me get a few deals, and then go off and do it on their own. I've done that successfully before. I just would like to scale that and do more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, when it comes to building that team, how do you find the right people?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, actually. It's always happened organically before in the past. I've run into people who are trying to do real estate and maybe not necessarily failing, but not doing as well as they could. And through conversations, they realize I have a lot to teach them, and their effort and their passion for it is huge, and so they can help me do deals that way as well. So I'm trying to figure out how to scale that on a larger scale. I've got a few people in mind that I run into, but I need to start finding people who I've never met before who can kind of come to me with their questions, and I can help them out, and like I said, we can all make some money together hopefully.
Yeah. Excellent. Do you foresee any other challenges with scaling like that? I mean, you already have a solid deal flow, so this is like going to a whole nother level.
That's the hope.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
The biggest challenge is just going to be the bigger we scale, the less of the nitty-gritty stuff I can do. So right now, like I analyze every deal that comes through the office. I go to every appointment that comes through the office. And that's fine when we're going to 30 appointments a month. But as soon as we scale to the point where we're doing 100 deals a month or whatever it was, it's probably never going to be 100 deals a month. But as soon as we scale to the point where I can't do all of the nitty-gritty stuff myself, I'm gonna have to get better at delegating and training people to be able to handle stuff that right now I handle myself.
Hmm. Well, Logan, it's been awesome having you on. Before we wrap up, if someone wants to reach out, connect, collaborate, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook at Logan Veer. If you want my number, I can give it to you. You can put it in the notes for the show if you want. But if anybody wants to reach out, I'm more than happy. I'm not going to be a huge benefit to people outside of my specific market. I can give advice and I'll happily do so. But if you're within the KC market, especially, I'd love to connect with you and see if we can do some deals.
Excellent. Well, Logan, I appreciate your time, your story, perspective. We need more people in the real estate space doing things the right way.
Yep, I agree.
And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pro Show. We've got more conversations coming up with pros like Logan who are out there building fantastic real estate empires. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.